across the planet. Megastructures rise so immense, they force us to question the limits of human ability. As futuristic projects appear like visitors from another era, built with precision and scale beyond imagination, while extreme landscapes demand bold engineering. Every meter of land won through intelligence and determination. And modern technology, robotics, AI, and automation reshape how humanity builds its world, turning the largest structures on Earth into glowing symbols of ambition, creativity, and the relentless drive to surpass every boundary. From Palm Jumeirah, the artificial palm-shaped island pushing Dubai's shoreline into the Persian Gulf with millions of cubic yards of sand and rock laid by GPS and guarded by a crescent against erosion as a statement of life. Beyond oil, to the Falkirk Wheel in Scotland, a rotating boat lift that joins two canals with a smooth turn powered by little more energy than a handful of kettles. Its balanced gondolas and turning arms acting as a moving sculpture of industrial rebirth, watched by crowds each year. From the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge, a 34-mile sea crossing of bridges and tunnels, stitching three economic giants together, and shrinking hours of travel into minutes as steel and concrete carve a permanent line across the Pearl River Delta, to China's colossal sea bridges, stretching over industrial bays for more than a dozen miles, held up by forests of pillars, pre-stressed steel, and typhoon-resistant design where 6 lanes of traffic glide above shipping lanes that remain open below. From the Baylong elevator clinging to a sandstone cliff over 1,000 feet high, its glass cars racing in minutes, where people once climbed for hours, while sensors and brakes guard both rock and rider, to Vietnam's Bina Hills, a mountaintop resort in cool air above the clouds where helicopters once placed cable car towers and thousands ride skyward every hour in cabins that float over rainforest and history. From the Three Gorges Dam, a concrete colossus across the Yangtze that tames floods, powers cities with dozens of giant turbines, and lifts ships through massive locks as an inland sea spreads behind it, to the golden rectangle of the Dubai Frame, a precise 90-degree portal between old streets and glass towers where a transparent skywalk suspends visitors between past and future. From the Panama Canal, slicing a shortcut between oceans and rewriting global trade, with a stairway of locks that raise and lower vessels, across a continental divide, to mountain bridges in China soaring nearly 2,000 feet above gorges, their weather-resistant steel decks replacing perilous cliff roads and proving that highways can fly. From Singapore's gardens by the bay, where towering, super trees harvest sun and rain for climate-controlled domes that guard millions of plants on reclaimed land in a new model of urban nature, to Chile's San Alfonso del Mar, a shimmering kilometer of turquoise lagoon beside the real ocean, its seawater kept crystal clear by advanced filtration that slashes energy use. From the Dutch Delta Works, a chain of dams and surge barriers with gates as heavy as ships that swing shut against storms to shield a nation below sea level, to the Eiffel Tower in Paris, a 330-meter lattice of iron once unmatched in height and still unmatched in grace, its slender frame a reminder that thousands of tons of metal can feel as light as lace. From Burj Khalifa, a 220-foot spiral of glass and steel tested in thousands of wind tunnel trials to stand firm in desert storms while acting as a vertical city of homes, offices, and luxury high above the sand, to the Milo Viaduct, whose needle-thin piers and cable-stayed deck were pushed out over a deep valley section by section, fitted with sensors to ride out savage gusts while traffic glides across a ribbon of road in the clouds. From Dubai's vast solar park, where millions of panels and a glowing central tower turn scorching desert sun into clean power that spreads for miles, like a city of mirrors, to Vietnam's Hon Tom, cable car spanning open sea on towering pylons planted from barges in rough water so that travelers float over waves instead of fighting them. From the port of Shanghai, a deep-water archipelago of automated cranes, driverless carriers, and endless container stacks that keeps more cargo moving than any other port in history, to the Ya'an-Sicheng Expressway, threading mountains. With hundreds of bridges and tunnels, half of its length airborne or underground, as sensors watch for quakes and landslides. In a landscape once nearly impassable, from Burj Al Arab, a sail of white rising from its own artificial island as a declaration of extreme luxury and structural daring on the edge of sea and sand, to Itaipu Dam harnessing the Paraná River to light tens of millions of lives with a wall of concrete watched by a nervous system of sensors monitoring its every pulse. From the Great Wall of China, 21,000 kilometers of stone, earth, and brick-climbing mountains and skirting deserts in a defense system of towers and ramparts that still marches across the horizon after 2 millennia, to the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge in Hunan, where a transparent deck nearly 1,000 feet above a forest of stone pillars lets visitors walk on air and feel, in a single trembling step, how far human imagination, engineering, and courage have taken us in our quest to shape the world.